Suddenly, as that happens, it's almost like it's too quick of an action. From every single one of the walls, this green ooze starts to come out. It blocks the windows. It blocks the door that Hanzo broke open to get into the kitchen. And it's slowly starting to come up around your guys' feet. And this whole room is almost like it's flooding with this green ooze.
Quick, everybody, pee on it. The only way to stop it.
I run upstairs. I go to the second floor.
You go to run to the main hall. That door is completely locked. And as
So I'm stuck in the kitchen.
Nope, there's a couple other ways out of the kitchen. But as you go to unlock that door, or like as you go to like get that door, it starts to cover itself in slime, and then out of the slime comes this face. That starts to kind of emerge out of the doorway, slowly coming towards you, Kenshin.
And I can choose another way to go?
Yeah, you can start to run away from it. Although, you're going to have to roll... Let's see, how do you want to get it? What do you want to do? Let's put it that way.
Guess I'll go to the other one.
Alrighty. What's everybody else doing, too, by the way? The ooze has now gotten to about ankle height. So it's getting a little hard to run.
I'm going to run to the dining room.
Through the dining room?
Yeah.
Okay, you get to the dining room door. It starts to cover up in slime, but you manage to break it open. Could you roll body force for me?
Sure thing. No successes.
No successes. The door is kind of jammed, and the ooze starts to get up to about ankle height. The door does give a little bit, though, so it's a little bit more open. You need a bit more force to get help.
Help! Let's get through here. Come on, everybody. Ooh, you got that axe? Axe this door down, bro.
Dax will charge with the axe.
Dax with the axe.
Dax.
All right.
Daxy.
Roll body force to chop that door. Chop that door, friend.
Where's my stat page?
As Kenshin's, while you're getting that up, as Kenshin's running towards you guys to go through the dining room, a big green hand emerges out of the what's it called? It emerges out of the floor goo, and it grabs him by the shoulder.
I got 2 successes.
Alright, so you managed to chop down the door, but Kenshin's being held by this green ooze as he's running back towards you. Yeah, because he tried the one door, it didn't work, he started running back towards you, a big hand came out of the ooze, and it grabbed him by the shoulder, and it's kind of holding him back. Kenshin, what
I'm gonna swing with my katana, and just try and chop it off of the wrist.
Chop it off of the wrist? Alright, roll body force.
We got 1 success, and just 1.
Just 1? That's enough. So you chop it, and the ooze that is attached to you grips for a second, but then it just kind of melts off of you and goes back into the goo at your feet. And you manage to run forward. So now you all manage to get into the dining room. The dining room is also still starting to fill up with goo. There's no windows or anything, so it's not blocking anything, but there is a bunch of goo in there. But what's also in here... what's weird is you open the door, like you burst open the door, and sitting at the table looks like these 2 kind of skeletal, ghostly figures, and they were enjoying a dinner together. They both turn their heads too much to look at you as you enter the room. Their eyes like these gigantic, like holes with tiny white dots inside of them. They turn to you, and then they just fade away as you go into this room. This room starts filling up with goo, and it's coming from the cracks in the floor, it's coming from the cracks in the ceiling, it's dripping down as you come into this room.
I'm gonna run towards it, but on the table.
On the table, so you jump up onto the table?
Up on the table, yeah. Actually, I'll do this. I'll jump onto the table with my skateboard and skate and just try and use the momentum of that to like burst
drop kick the door. Nice.
Well, shoulder bash.
All right, do body force. That sounds right. Or do body move, actually. That sounds more right. Because you're kind of using momentum with you. I don't want to make it body force for everything, because that would be boring.
Oh, I got 2 successes this time.
So what happens is, as you're like mid-air, this head and like sort of weird body kind of comes up through the ooze, and it's wearing one of the masks that you saw in the trophy room, and it just like opens the mouth of the mask, and it tries to It tries to bite at you, but because you did that fucking sick kickflip so goddamn well, you cut it, like, your board goes into the mouth of the thing and cuts off the top of its head, and that causes the goo to kind of retract back into the floor. The head part kind of falls back into the goo as well, and then you hit the door with a really hard thud. It opens, it swings open fast, and you land softly because this area is also covered in about like shin height of goo.
Well, then am I in it?
Yeah, you're kind of in it, but you're not like completely submerged in it. However, there are hands coming up out of the goo trying to bring you down into it. And then there's a face that comes up like towards your face, and it's
and it says,
That was sick, bro.
"You peed on me." But yeah, that face is coming up to you as you feel hands start to, and you guys can see these hands starting to envelop Augie as he's like laying face down in this goo, and this face is coming towards him, and it's slowly starting to swallow him.
Can I just go? I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna grab Augie's legs and start pulling.
Yeah, pull. Do body force.
yeah, I'll help too.
Don't
Both
worry
of
about
you.
how weapon
Actually,
legs are.
okay, so here's what we'll do. Mike, roll roll heart lead. Kenshin, roll body force.
I made it. I made it.
You did it? Alright, and then we'll see what
get it.
Kenshin does.
I did get one.
You got one too?
I got two. I got another one.
Alrighty, so you managed to just kind of both of you kind of grab him by the legs and you yank him free from it, and the face just kind of comes up and then goes back into the goo like it's this kind of like dolphin emerging from the water for a second just to go back down. The front door is completely submerged. It's coming from the walls in the near the front door. All the windows are blocked by this goo. It's starting to kind of crawl up the walls from the bottom of the floor and everything like that. The whole house is starting to fill up with this goo.
Can we run upstairs?
Yes.
All right. I will run upstairs and head towards the balcony.
As you go to run upstairs, a piece of goo kind of falls down from the ceiling, and it's got another one of those faces on it, and it's got these two hands that kind of come at you, and they start to kind of try to grab you.
I say, goo!
I would like to try to throw one of the mushrooms into the mouth of the face.
Okay,
Madness.
that happens.
Hit me first!
Intercepted.
Oh! Oh no!
Do it again in Augie.
God damn it, guys! But yeah, no. So
That's pretty
you
much
throw,
Augie spinach.
You throw a mushroom at it.
Yeah.
Nothing really happens. It goes into its mouth, but it just kind of becomes part of its goo. You watch it kind of dissolve inside of the goo as it does, but it doesn't really seem to affect it at all.
Don't get eaten by it. Got it.
And it pushes Marky down the stairs onto Augie.
Should we fall into the muck
Uh,
down below?
Augie, roll. Let's see, what can you do? Roll body sneak.
I got one success.
All right, so you catch the railing as you start to fall backwards, so you don't fall back into the goo. But now there's
that railing are good friends.
yeah, there's this face and these hands coming closer to you slowly as it's like stretching out from the ceiling above.
I'll take the CD, the Avril Lavigne CD out of my CD player, kiss it, and then or no, whip it like that, like when you're doing the cards or whatever.
Roll. Okay. Roll tech calculate. Okay.
I got one success.
Okay. You manage to kind of clip a part of it that's hanging from the ceiling, which causes it to dangle. One of its arms falls off and lands into the goo, but it's still kind of like slightly on there, just a little bit more. And it grabs Marky by the face.
I'm still chewing mushrooms.
I'll try to cut the arm off with the axe.
Nice. Roll. Yeah, that's a body force, definitely. If it's your sword, if it's Kenshin's sword or your axe, it's definitely going to be a body force. I can't think of any other way around it.
I got two.
You got two? Okay, so you cut it off. and that's enough to kind of like the momentum of it. The goo catches on the axe, and it pulls the whole rest of it off of its thing, and it splashes like it falls to the sideways of the stairs, splashes in the pool that's now rising. It's now about 3 steps deep, all the goo that's on the bottom floor, and it's only rising.
Is there there's no, all the doors and windows on this floor seem to be...
On the first floor? Yeah, this room is gone. Okay. Like, there's no getting out on this room. You will be devoured by it before you can do anything.
Let's try to get to the balcony, guys, or the attic.
Good thinking.
And I'll start heading up the stairs.
Alrighty. You get up the stairs and you start to see the goo reach up, and it's starting to get onto the balcony with these little strands of goo. It's getting there and it's getting closer. What do you guys do?
This reminds me of Fern Gully. The smoke monster in Fern Gully.
I'm trying to think if it is like Fern Gully.
The balcony's just open, right?
Yeah, it's like an indoor balcony, kind of like just a stretch of hallway that leads around and overlooks the main hall. There are windows, yeah.
Oh, it's a balcony.
Are they still open or are they gooed up?
They are not gooed up.
Do you still have that climbing equipment?
No.
I have my...
I'm just gonna call that.
Marky, do you have your parachute?
Who said I had a parachute?
Oh, man. I just figured you'd be the kind of guy that has a parachute.
That was his problem, is that he always has a parachute secretly on him that he can't let anybody know about.
I'm gonna run to one of those windows and I'm
trying to open it up is what he said.
He's trying to open it up. Okay. Roll. That's definitely going to be body force, because you're trying to open these old-ass windows.
Got a success on my first roll.
Nice. So you managed to get the window open.
Okay, I look out of it.
All right.
It's a brick house, right?
Yeah, what you see is, there's a bunch of bushes down below you and everything. But what's also kind of different is, coming up the trail, you see 2 headlights driving closer to the mansion. Or manse. It's a manse!
I'm going to... Are there things that seem scalable on the outside of this building?
Yes, if you could carefully go, if you want to. It will take more time.
I'm not only going to do it, I'm going to use my feet.
Your pride?
Parkour down my pride. I'm going to parkour down the side of this thing like Jackie Chan.
Kenshin makes it look easy. What do you do? Describe it. Describe it. Like, if there's anything...
I put, like, my fingers in crevices, and then, like, I flip my head down, and I put a hand down to do, like, kind of like a cartwheel down, like, 3 pieces. Dang. And then I just hop up at the bottom, yeah.
Dang. And now you're safely on the lawn of the manse.
And when I get to the bottom, I take out the sword, and I swing it.
Nice.
I'm just gonna jump out the window.
Alright. I want you to roll a heart lead.
Okay.
Oggy doggy.
That is some oggy doggy shit. You don't want to kick flip out the window?
Alright, here we go. I got no successes.
Oh boy. So, you land very hard on the floor of the lawn, which causes you to have your final condition, which means that you get exhausted, because it's the only thing that you can fill up now.
Well, broken is
which technically, no, broken is what happens when all 4 of those fills up. So your character...
Well, I'm not upset.
Oh, you're not upset. Oh, yeah, you got unupset. Okay, so that just makes you upset then.
That's why.
Or no, we'll still say that that's exhausted, not upset. But yeah, so you got 3 of the 4 then. I forgot you listened to Avril.
Alright, well, while Augie is on the ground,
out of the way.
Soft landing.
Oh wait.
So I'm gonna go ahead and jump off Augie.
You're gonna jump off? Wait, did you say you're gonna land on Augie?
Yeah, he's
Alrighty, roll.
So I can have a soft landing.
Roll body move.
Oh, I got 1. I got 1. Woo!
You got 1?
Alright.
Okay.
1 out of 6.
Alright, so you land on Augie. But that's like a really hard hit. So that does cause
I'm
you...
only 13.
That causes you to become upset, which breaks you. But in this game, my house rules version of it, because we're playing a horror experience and not necessarily Tales from the Loop, and you're not going to die or anything.
Sorry,
What's funny about this is your character doesn't die or anything, you're still playing the game, what happens when you become broken in this game, in My House Rules, is that your character just completely wusses out. So, what would your character do that, like, just would be social suicide? Like, it would be so embarrassing if it happened. And it turns out Dax's camera is actually recording this as it happens, too.
It's so simple. I just start crying.
I'm from a suburb of LA, not even really Los Angeles.
It's not overdone. It's just a real cry.
And then Dax, that leaves you left. The goo is getting up to the second floor, and it's right about to grab you. What happens?
I'm going to, with the camera apparently filming, I'm going to say, and this is how Lawrence Coswell really killed himself. And I'm going to run and jump off and try to land on my friend.
Oh, God. on Marky?
On Marky, who's on Augie.
All right, roll body move.
The Marky Augie sandwich. I think you have to change that rule.
Yeah, Augie dies. Augie gets crushed to death.
I got one success.
You got one. So Marky manages to stand up. He goes to catch you. He does catch you, but he's also a 13-year-old. So you just immediately like fall onto your ass, and like you get a little crushed by Dax, which causes you to become injured if you aren't already, which it barely matters at this point. But
both of Marky's ankles are.
The bone's sticking out. God.
I was holding the axe too. I kept the axe.
You're getting more hurt than anyone.
Alrighty. And with that,
Augie's throw absorbed most of the impact.
The house seems to get really angry as you all land on the lawn, and then suddenly, as quickly as it started, the house stops. It's almost like it's completely silent again. You see these two, except for Augie crying, and you hear the wind. The rain has now stopped. And then suddenly, those two headlights that Kenshin saw earlier drive up right next to you guys, and they park, and two people get out of the truck. They're wearing, like, worker uniforms, and they have, like, hats, and it's almost like one's jumpsuits. And they're driving what looks like a big dump truck, like one of the kinds of dump trucks that's, like, it's got, like, a bed on it that goes like this to dump stuff out of, not like a dump truck, like a garbage truck, like an actual dump truck. And in the back of the dump truck, it's kind of hard to see because you guys are short kids and it's really tall, but there's a mound of something in the back of the this truck, and these two guys get out and they're just like, what are these kids doing here? Are these kids supposed to be here? Who are you kids? What are you doing here?
We're supposed to be here.
We didn't get any orders about no kids being here. This is very awkward.
We got permission from city council to do a school report.
And our
Lawrence
teachers.
Coswell.
That has nothing to do with why we're here. Do you guys have anything to do with? And as he's about to finish his sentence, two gigantic green goo spears shoot out of the front of the manse and spear both of these guys, just completely impaling them. Their like guts shoot out the backs of their bodies as they're lifted up into the air and then pulled into the house. The house completely explodes. Like, there's parts of it are just flying through the air, landing in the forest willy-nilly, as this gigantic creature emerges from... And it looks like this.
Oh, dang.
I want to go home.
It's this gigantic, horrible goo monster with multiple heads, a bunch of hands growing out of it, and these giant spears now have these two poor workers on them. They're being hoisted into the air. The thing's roaring as it's like kind of climbing towards the sky a little bit, starting to get shape as it does.
Let's get in the car. I'm about to get my learner's permit, guys.
This is the true donkey dare. And
Sounds good. That's all.
hop in the car.
We all hop in the car.
Y'all got in the car?
Yep.
Alrighty. So what?
I'm gonna
punk rock.
fix my mirror, 10 and 12, and I'm gonna try to like look over the back and slowly put reverse, actually neutral first, and then wait, no.
So what you see when you go like this, what you see is you're able to see what this truck is carrying. And it's just a gigantic, just huge amount of white powder.
Sweet.
We found the cocaine truck.
I told you! I told you!
There's some white powder on the reach, so I'm just gonna go ahead and grab and lick it.
It's salt.
I can tell that it's salt.
Now this is like Dad's cocaine.
I'm assuming that the salt is gonna be somehow useful to us, so I'm gonna start looking for like the dump truck dump button.
The dump button. Dax, are you running away? Are you driving away as this is happening?
I'm slowly putting it in reverse.
You're trying to drive away. The monster grabs the front of the truck and like kind of lifts it a little bit, but it's still like the back wheels are still on the ground, and you can see all of its faces. One of its faces bites the door off, and like Augie's sitting the closest to the door, and it's like trying to get him.
I can't focus. I'm crying.
I want to go back to LA. Michigan sucks.
I get out. I just run headfirst into the pile of salt, and I just start like shoving it in places on my body. And guys, I saw this in a demon anime once. Also, this is what was in that master bedroom that looked pretty well protected. Maybe you just need to be either covered in salt or have like a circle of salt around you. But let's see if I die.
so
I go like this, and I'm like in meditation.
As you're carrying it on you, the thing grabs you with one of its hands and swoops you up into the sky. And as it does that, it comes into contact with the salt and it starts burning. The thing screams this horrible scream, and it drops you in the back of the truck. And as it like kind of like retracts from that, and it lets go of the truck a little bit, and you can see the thing is visibly horrified by that.
Guys, it's gluten intolerant.
I'll switch. I'll carefully try to put it. Well, I'll kind of jam it and put it into drive, and stick my empty Planters cheese ball canister into the gas pedal. All right, guys, get the fuck out. Drive into the house.
Everybody roll a body move, except for Kenshin, because Kenshin's on the not part of this because he got grabbed and taken away a little bit from it. But everybody who's still in the dump truck needs to roll body move to jump out of the truck.
I got one.
I got it.
I got one success.
Alrighty. And
Except
what's
for
funny
dead
is,
Augie.
technically Augie fails all rolls because he's broken.
Yeah.
So here's what happens. You guys get out. Augie's too pissed scared to do anything, so he sits in the car, and he just screams as the car drives completely straight forward towards this beast at full gas. And you're like, ah! And then, like, the thing gets hit. It just crashes into this goo monster. The goo monster screams this horrible scream as the truck goes like because it hits the front and it flips over, and Augie's just in the car like this. You crash through the windshield and you just go like into jello. And then suddenly this monster like starts to scream as it sizzles and crumples in on itself. And it kind of falls back into the foundation of this destroyed manse. The thing kind of burns as it does, and it seems like it's dead. And as it kind of melts away, and you hear this horrible screaming from this thing, Hanzo's laying on his back where the thing kind of melted into the foundation, and he's like, and he coughs up like a whole bunch of goo. And Augie, you would cough up some goo too because you were covered in it as well. And Hanzo just kind of looks over to Augie. He's like,
can I say my final line? That was some real Augie doggy shit.
And then he dies.
and then he dies.
I should say this is I'm getting too old for this.
So Hanzo and Augie are laying pretty much incapacitated on the floor of this ruined. There's smoke. It's kind of like this green smoke is kind of rising from the foundation as the everything starts to settle into place because you have defeated the goo monster.
No one tell anyone we just killed Augie.
Not dead.
I'm not dead.
We swear a pact here and now to come back to this place again if this ever happens.
In 30 years.
Yeah, there we go.
Every 30 years, we're gonna come back and kill a little new kid from LA. That's what we said, right?
Sacrifice a new kid from LA.
Yeah.
That was
Please, the
plan
goo
all
monster.
Kenshin! You hear Hanzo yell, Kenshin! Kenshin!
I hear it.
You coming over with me?
I sense your presence still in this world.
I'm right over here, Kenshin!
It's like I can hear you in the wind.
Come closer, Kenshin. I can't see you, Kenshin, my boy.
Can you move?
No. He clearly can, but he just doesn't want to.
I come over to him and I kneel at his head and I put a hand on his forehead and his cheek.
Kenshin, he's covered in just goo. It's like Nickelodeon gack. Just like all over him. And he's like, Kenshin, you saved me. I didn't think you would save someone as evil and vile as your rival. But you have shown courage beyond courage. He coughs up a goo right onto your face.
And I go, shh. Rivals only exist to make us stronger. I have a tear.
You're a true hero, Kenshin. I owe you a life debt.
I'm still right next to them, aren't I?
Yeah, no, I don't know why nobody cares.
Guys, I want to go home.
I'm eating goo off of Augie's face.
Thanks, Barky.
All right, did you guys want a moment, or do you want to?
I offer Hanzo a hand.
He wasn't even a main character.
You're alive.
The door open and did a sick kickflip down the stairs.
Too bad Augie didn't make it. That's what I say to him.
Oh God! Can I find the Bang CD in this?
You do, yeah. You find it.
Yes. Do I feel less upset now?
No, it has one scratch on it, and that means it's completely dead to you.
Now I'm truly broken.
This was the final death.
She's gonna marry the guy from Nickelback for like 15 years.
Hey guys, just real quick, there are like 2 dead adults.
They didn't
there's no remains of them. They are not to be found. Whatever the goo monster did to them, they're
Did you
also
see
been a
2
giant
dead adults?
explosion in the
Because
wood.
I didn't.
Yeah,
Me
definitely
neither.
nothing happened, but we should get the hell out of here. Tiny
One of
explosion.
them looked like someone I
And
knew.
the cops are definitely on their way.
The cops are. Alrighty.
Tell no one. We just do our project and we get out of here.
Yeah, we just showed the video to everyone,
And we never see each other again.
I just start walking away.
Just covered in just wet.
I say to who's my Hanzo? I say to Hanzo, you look like the end of that demon hentai movie I saw once.
Oh, I know
And
what one you're talking about. You're totally right.
I downloaded off of Napster the other day.
Oh, hell yeah. I got it off of Kazaa. Napster's for chumps. We're still rivals. All right.
I like how Augie grows up to be a U.S. senator. They're all the better place.
So,
For Canadians, like Avril Lavigne.
alrighty, we return to Miss O'Neill's history class at 2:30 p.m. on Monday. We've now just sat through several presentations, and the one about Tim Allen is just wrapping up. It's now your turn to play your video. So here's one final test for all of you. Without looking at notes or anything, so look at your camera's dead eye, and don't look at your notes or anything. Tell me, each one of you needs to tell me one unique fact about Lawrence Coswell to determine your grave. Boom. There's one.
Machu Picchu.
Boom. Two.
He killed his aunt.
That's false. He never killed his aunt. There's a part.
Not in our school. I don't even go to our school.
Yeah, he still counts towards it though because I wanted it to be funny.
Okay.
So you said he kills his aunt? That's not true. I'll give you one more chance, but I want Dax to answer one first.
He worked with Everett Breckenridge, and
What? Why are you reading your notes?
I'm not. I'm looking at my
You're looking down and right.
You were looking right at my face. No, I'm just kidding.
There is zero things.
It says
down and right.
carved into your desk, Everett Breckenridge. All right, so Dax got one. So Marky, I need you to give me one fact. You got one more shot.
He lived in Michigan. Boom!
Technically correct, so I will allow it.
The best kind of correct.
All right, Miss O'Neill. After watching your guys' video, she just goes, "It's a little avant-garde. Nice special effects. The nudity, the nudity was a bit much. She noticed Augie pooping in the background in the one shot. She was like, I think it needs a bit more editing, but." With all due said, you did tell me 4 facts about Lawrence Coswell. So, that being said, I'm going to give you the A+.
Yes!
I raised my hand.
Yes, Augie.
I go and high five it.
Why did we need to know about an axe murderer? What kind of school is this?
What are you talking about, an axe murderer?
Lawrence Coswell killed his wife, then axed himself.
No, he did kill himself and his wife. I think you're confusing him with Arthur Kerwin, who was somebody who owned the house later on, who killed.
And he died from a sweet kickflip. Remember, Augie? Filmed it.
That's right. Yeah.
Pretty sure he shot himself, but that's fine too.
Yeah.
You guys want the A+, right? We should stop here if you want the A+.
Before we start handing out grades, lady.
Augie's cleaned up his act. His hat's forward, his hair's gone.
He's now an A+ student. All right. We
Real
cut.
life drugs aren't cool.
We cut to the donkey house, or what's left of it. A cleanup crew has arrived. The area is quarantined off. Samples are being taken, more salt being poured on the foundation, and the rubble is being cleared and burned. We see the 2 office workers from the prologue overseeing the work being done. What can happen over the course of a weekend? Yeah, you got me there. So how many did we lose this time? 3 field agents, 2 cleanup. The older man kicks a mask on the ground. That's a damn shame. HQ's gonna have our hides. That's apparently not all. Apparently some kids were the ones who stopped this. God damn it! Relax. We have their information. Their age works against them. Everyone thinks they just have overactive imaginations. Needless to say, if they try anything stupid, Delta Green will be watching. The end.
We will for sure do something stupid. Probably Augie.
Definitely Augie.
I like the fact Augie's gonna become a U.S. senator. That's my favorite part of this whole show.
But yes, that was the Crack'd and Crook'd Manse, technically our Halloween episode that moved on into November, which is why I have a beard now, because I'm doing No Shave November. But I left up my Halloween decorations for an extra week, so that's dedication. We'll go with I'll go last, but we'll shoot to Ty first. Ty, who are you, and what was your favorite part of both sessions, not just this one?
Oh, I'm Ty. I played Dax McMillan. My favorite part was Augie kick flipping off of the second story and succeeding very well.
It was the perfect use of a pride skill.
It was.
We'll go to Chris.
My name is Chris. I played Kenny Kenshin Smith. My favorite part was... I'll say two things. One was lowering Dax into the trapdoor with the Blair Witch Project style cheap camera. That was great. Probably my second favorite part was literally when we started the epilogue and right when he's like, "Yep, Augie's gonna be a U.S. senator." In my head, that's canon. That already happened. When Mike said that, I thought that was hilarious.
We'll throw it over to Tom.
I was Augie, and this was good. I liked when Mike snorted rat feces and salt.
God, that's so gross. And then we'll throw it over to Mike.
My favorite part was Augie having this escape from the house that worked out really well, and then me using his escape to make my own escape and accidentally basically killing him.
You technically, for all intents and purposes, you did kill him.
Yeah, I killed him.
That means that Augie has won the what's it called, Insanity Award. Something else I also have to show you guys. So this, I'm going to turn on the lights so that it's easier to see it. So this is the mini that I have of the goo monster or slug monster or whatever you want to call it. I have some really awesome pictures I'm going to post. Nice. But what's also cool is whoever I deem, you know how I have like a prestige award of whoever is my favorite role player of that session, I give them that. This is what I'm going to give you for it, which is the blood variant. This is the first one I printed, but then I realized I didn't want to print it in red, and then I got green resin, so I reprinted it. And so this is the canon one, but this is the blood variant, and this is somebody's going to get this once I do all the editing of the video and determine which one of you is my favorite son. And with that all said, I am Dave. I was the keeper tonight. My favorite part was actually doing the window pane scary thing with Marky, because it was probably the most horror this entire thing got. But with that, we will be back next week with, I think, Chris, Chase, and Ty will be doing A Slow Boat to China, which is Chapter 3 of the Lang Fu Saga. And then after that, I don't know, we'll figure something out. We've got to do our Christmas episode at some point. We'll figure that one out, too. But yeah, with that, we've been the Mythos Mystery Society, brought to you by Schmuckies. Schmuckies, get that good old goo gupped up inside you.
God. Wow. How did the censors let that one go?
Yeah, exactly. That sounds like a donkey dare for sure.
We're more lenient in the 90s, I guess.